Alright. Oh, we got a bit of an echo. Let me fix that. Alright, so we're live here with the KRE series. I'm here just to be a racer. We got Speedetzer1 LARPing as a furry. Gib being Lando Norris, apparently. To where the fuck they are. We got Seeker, my forever rival. This is Speedetzer1's car. And this, I don't know. That might be Noah's car, but yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see Kelly racing out here. Let's get this one on a roll. Oh my goodness, the voice cracks. Okay, anyways, but yeah, we are racing. It's gonna be fun. I don't think I have the bio set up, so let me do that right here. Let me also make the advertisement for KRE. It should be in partnerships. Yes.
Alrighty, folks, we are live from the beautiful streets of St. Petersburg, Florida, for the season opener of Roblox IndyCar Association's third consensual running of one of Roblox's most premier and revered IndyCar associations, at least in from what I've seen and what I've heard. We got a beautiful field of drivers here today, all race ready and all win hungry. A lot of them haven't won a race yet. Some of them haven't won a race in many months. Many months. It's been a while since our initial start to the season when we tried to do Season 3 back in the fall. But here we are again, a year later, trying to re-rack it and make it better. As we're getting ready to go green for what might be one of the more exciting road course races of the season.
I sure hope it will be.
With definitely one of the most stacked fields that I think I've seen in the season so far. So, without further ado, to meet your field, sitting on a pole in the number 12R, we got Robo Mesa. 4 wins, the most winningest driver of the season. Can he get another win on a road course? This would be his second of his career, so he is definitely looking for another win on a road course and could come today. Sitting on his outside, a very fast rookie. We saw him in test sessions. He was a hell of a guy. And he is an absolute piss missile on these road courses. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gibson racing in the number 42 for Seeker Technic Motorsports. Can't wait to see what we see out of him today from St. Petersburg, Florida, as we move back on to row number 2 in the number 17, another rookie that we have not seen in a long time since Season 1, Indianapolis 500. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Goated Sports Channel, Jared. And to his outside in the number 24, racing for Seeker Technic Motorsports, the leader of that whole establishment and the owner for both of the cars, sitting in row 1 and 2. He has 3 wins on his career. 2 wins, my bad. Can he get another one today? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Seeker. And rounding out the last part of the field in row number 3, sitting on the inside, my bad. We have the number 55. You remember him from last year. He was hella quick from St. Petersburg. Saved the most fuel that anybody ever has in the Roblox IndyCar Association. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Noah Reed. And to his outside, definitely not least, but I set up. But he's racing the number 4. Managed to squeeze a win out of the Arkham Menards series in one of the most outstanding fashions ever. Could he do a similar thing today from St. Petersburg? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Speedy XR1. A hell of a stacked field, but enough is said and done. It's been a year's worth of anticipation, a year of build-up. The most famous words in autosports: drivers, start your engines. And those natural aspirated V8s have roared to life, getting ready for one of the longest races that I think these guys have ever been put through in an open wheel car. 100 laps at the grueling streets of St. Petersburg. Definitely not going to be a joyride for these guys. It's going to be a hell of a strategy race, and definitely a race in general. Slipstream is pretty powerful at the road courses. Definitely don't want to count that out, as that will definitely become as part of the strategy. As we quickly put up on the board our 100 scheduled laps for today, as we put them on the board, as the drivers see the distance that they need to cover to see those twin checkers fly for the Honda St. Petersburg Grand Prix for the season opener. We are still waiting on the 55 to jump into his car, as we get ready to set these guys rolling for 100 laps. That being said, we go over the stats of what we've seen so far in the season, or what we saw last season. Robomesa, let's talk about him for a second. He is, again, one of the winningest drivers of the series. Definitely did struggle, though, with the new talent coming in Season 3 initially when we tried to do it in the fall. With such a diverse schedule and such a new rule set change, the 12 kind of struggled and staggered a little bit to get a victory. He eventually got one at Phoenix, but to his utter dismay, at what cost? That race was definitely not one that he would have preferred to win under those circumstances. As we go back to Gibb, piss missile of a race car driver, as we've seen, as Braden says he is back, so it is too late. His car is gone. It's deleted, so remember to remain in your cars. Braden Thomas, please get off the track. As we're still waiting for Noah Dude to return to his car, we're going to set a 2-minute timer. If not, he is going to be parked into the pit lane, and he will have to merge however many laps down that is.
Well, that sucks, but I understand why.
So I'm starting a 2-minute timer here. Back to what I was saying, a piss missile of a driver, Gibb. Definitely a hell of a pickup for Seeker Technic Motorsports. So, definitely some interesting stories coming into the race. The timer is rolling. We're still waiting for Noah Dude to get into his car. And if not, he will be put into the pits, and I will just put him there, and he'll be however many laps down. I'm not going to park him. He will be sitting in the pits, and he will be however many laps down. Yes, you may.
All right.
The timer is ticking as we are down to the final 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. So he will be taken out of the initial start, as his car is not even going the proper speed that it should be. So that is unfortunate for him, as we put him into his pit stall here. If your car is only going 55 miles per hour, that's going to be unfortunate for you. Or 99. All right. So Noah, you can start back there as we get ready to send these guys rolling for the 100 laps that they are set to distance today, as Noah Dude is now sitting in the pit lane. Can we get ours in the chats and wiggle your tires if you're ready to go green for the season opener from St. Petersburg, Florida? Waiting on Seeker's response. Seeker, are you ready? Okay, he said R. All right.
All right.
All laps have been set as we are getting ready to send the countdown to the drivers. Here we go. Countdown has been set. Green flag is out from St. Petersburg, and the 12 sleeps the start. Loses all of his initial lead and momentum on the start there as we go up to the front. Aria battle brewing up. It's Jared and Gibb racing for the lead right now, side by side. Jared clips the inside wall, but he's back there into the apex. Out of the corner they come, and it looks like Speedy X1's already faltering behind as they come up to the final hairpin to complete the first lap. For those who are interested, the normal pit window here from St. Petersburg now with the new rule set and the new fuel gauge is now 40 laps.
Bro, do you not know what the
So if they can maintain that fuel window, then they'll be able to make it to the end. As we complete lap number 1, Gibson leaving his first few laps of the event as Seeker, his team owner, now trying to challenge him for the lead, and hits the outside wall. Costs him major time. He's going to shift back to 4th. Very unfortunate for him. You go on board with Gibb, who is currently leading the field up to lap number 2. They hit the outside wall as we go to Speedy Xer 1. Already coming out of the hairpin. He's going to adjust now, complete lap number 2 of the event. This race might not be as long as these guys think it is. For the schedule of the field that we have, we should be hitting around a minute per lap, or a minute and or a lap and a half per minute. So that should be an hour and 40. So not that long of a race. Not as long as these guys initially thought, but still definitely enough for fuel strategy to play into the race as we look at what we have right now. Gibson still out front with Robo Mesa lurking behind, ready to strike, waiting for Gibson to make a mistake as we go back to the battle for third. Jared under pressure from behind, the 24, not relenting his attack, but he hits the inside wall. That's going to cost him. Jared perfectly exits the apex. Same with the 24, and now Seeker's got to reel him back in and try to set up a pass coming into the first few corners as Gibson's going to come up to lead lap number 4. So strung out racing right now. Not much to be expected from that. So this is probably going to be what most of the race will be. And oh, Jared hits the inside wall. No, you can go. You can go. We had to start without you. We had a timer set. You're fine, but we had to start without you, man. I'm sorry. You can still get out on the track and compete. So now we have our fully scheduled 6 cars out on racetrack. Noah Dude just coming back from whatever he had to do. As we come up to the front again with Gibson, I believe still running in front of Robo right now. As he exits out of turn 14, coming up to turn 1 and 2. Gibson still out front, Robo lurking behind, still has to find a way to get around that 42 machine of Gibb. Like I said, this guy is quick. Proved it in the test sessions and has been proving it ever since, but he messes up out of the apex out of 9. That's going to cost him a huge amount of time. Robo's going to be able to close that gap now. He's within the slipstream, so he can definitely close in. He's just got to reel him in on the straightaways, which there's only very few of them. Coming up to lap 7. Gibson still out front. We go back to Jared and Seeker, who are currently running out on track right now for the 3rd place spot. Seeker's still trying to set up a pass on the 17. It just keeps making mistakes that are costing him a little bit of time. But Jared also making a mistake out of turn 10. Clips the wall as they come through 13 and 14. Seeker had the inside lane advantage, but it wasn't going to help him out enough. You got to make sure he's setting up a good pass up here in turn 1. These are probably some of the best passing zones out on the track, if done right. We go back to the battle for the lead right now between Robo Mesa and Gibson. As these guys are just trying to collect down laps, because this race, like it or not, even if you don't like it, is really just going to come down to fuel strategy. Whoever has the better fuel strategy, whoever conserves more, whoever can stay out the longest on the first fuel stint is probably going to be able to come out with the win, if I had to guess. Because when the math is all done together, you can make about 40 laps with the 2,000-mile fuel gauge. Mind you, these guys did not come out with a whole fuel gauge. So however many laps they can do under green is definitely going to be numbered compared to what they could have done with a full fuel gauge. As Robo now closing in that gap, he's within maybe a half a car length of Gibson. Tries to set up a pass coming into turn 1. He's got a huge advantage. Big run off of turn 1. Now he's on the rear bumper of the 42. He's on the outside. Gibson's going to pull away again. Robo's still there, all over him, side by side into turn 8. And out of 9, a good apex by the 42. Robo's now going to play the catch-up game, coming in through the final few corners, out of 10. Through 11 and 12, up into 13. Robo's got the inside lane advantage, but he misses. To the line, it's going to be Gibb. And that's going to bring us to lap 11. A good battle for the lead right now. Side by side down the front straightaway, coming into turn 1 and 2. Out of 3, coming up into 4 and 5. Robo's going to hit the inside wall. That is going to ruin the big momentum run there that he had on the 42. And now, once again, the 12 is going to be playing the catch-up game that he just does not want to have to deal with. As we go back to the 55, a troublesome start to the day for them. Already 4 laps down with issues at the start there. So really all he's got to hope for right now is cautions and or a better fuel strategy. Come up to the front. Jared's still out front of Seeker. Currently out in 3rd. Seeker's still playing the catch-up game as they come through turn 5 and 6. Through 7 and 8. Jared way quicker than him out of those 2 corners. And that's going to benefit him in the long run as we go back to the battle for the lead, as Robo still trying to catch up with Gibb after that bad mistake he made out of turn 4 about 2 laps ago. He has now closed it in to about a half a car length now. Maybe about 2 car lengths out of the apex. Now several car lengths. He gets there and then he loses it. So unfortunately for him, it's going to be still a game of catch up, but Gibb messes up out of turn 12. Not very, very huge mess up, but still good enough for Robo to close in a little bit, ever so slightly. These two proven to be the class of the field as of right now. Could change later on in the race. Depends on how it plays out. Through turns 7, 8, and 9. Out of the apex, Robo is now there. Within striking distance of the 42 as they come up through turn 12 into 13 and 14. Out of the hairpin. Gibb gets a little loose off the exit, but simply keeps leading. Gibb already trying to attack for extra points. Robo claimed the pole position for today. Gibson looking for some of those bonus points with most laps led on the day. Now he's under fire. The 12R putting pressure. Makes the pass out of turn 9. New race leader, Robo Mesa. He is going to lead the first laps that he has of the race, and he chokes it. He chokes it coming out of 12. Commentators curse. Robo falters out of the final few corners. It's going to cost him. Now Gibbs back out to the lead. Not without pressure, though. He is side by side with the 12 as they race off into turn 4. Side by side still. Into 5, 6, and 7. Here they come into 8 and 9. Out of the apex. Gibb has the better run. Robo's still there. What a battle for the lead. Good race up front. Oh, Robo! Loose off the entrance to turn. I believe that was 13. Hit a little rut in the track that's going to cost him a little bit of time. That bump can definitely rock your world in a very bad way, and that's going to cost him a bit of time. 12R probably not happy with that one as he's coasting his way through the final few corners here of 7, 8, and 9. Gibb racing off into turn 10. smelling like a rose out of that battle, which I'm sure there are more to come for him. The 42, still dominating, being the ever-loving pants off the field as we are coming up on lap traffic, folks. That being Speedy XR1. We go on board with Noah Dude in the 55 in the good fight to get back on the lead lap. Hard road ahead, but you gotta remember, these guys exited the pits a little later. They are 4 laps down. That could be a difference there. Especially with pit strategy, that could be the difference. Depending on the cautions that are called today, though, flips and or disconnections, that strategy might be all for naught if he can't make up that same ground as he hits the inside wall. That's going to cost him some time. Speedy XR1 gets right around him again. But the good fight continues for the Team 55 as they still put pressure on the number 4. Coming through at the exit of 9. Real good corner by the 55 of Noah Dude as he rolls through turn 10. As the good battle continues, but Gibson closing in fast, trying to put these two another lap down. That is definitely not what they want to be seeing in the rear view mirrors. As Speedy XR1 hits the wall. Gibson all over him right now, putting pressure in. Oh, Noah Dude! Big mistake! That's going to cost him. Noah might be another lap down as we come to lap 21. Here they come through the final corner. And that is definitely not what the 55 wanted to happen. But the good news here for him is that he is in the slipstream. So he has the advantage here. If he needs to catch up, he can definitely play the catch-up game. Big draft run off of turn 4. Loses it immediately. That momentum did not last at all. The awkward exit that he's got. We go back to Robo, who's still currently struggling to keep pace with Gibb in the number 42. Fast all night long. Trying to win from this beautiful overcast day from St. Petersburg, Florida. As now Robo's in a good position. He might be able to get 2-car draft down the front straightaway. And oh, Speedy XR1 into the CC wall. Leaving just 1. Strategy has now gone down for the 12 as now he has to wait. As he overtakes the 55, he'll put him a lap down. Now it is back to the work at hand, trying to catch the 42 as the 12 just sputters around, trying to find anything that will work for him. Back to Seeker and Jared as that battle is all but dissipated. As Seeker is now probably going to be a lap down fairly soon. That is, if the field strategy calls for it. He might be able to run away with a still being on lead laps. So right now we have 4 lead lap cars, 2 of which are not on the lead lap. Putting an interesting situation definitely for the cautions. Go back to Robo, still doing the good fight right now, trying to track down the 42 as they head through turns 1, 2, and 3, racing off into 4. That 42 oh so close, but so far for the number 12R. A pretty good entry to the apex of turns 8 and 9. Some very good corners that we're seeing out of 12R so far, as we are now a quarter way through the race. Almost to the halfway point of the race, and it's been pretty interesting so far. Definitely not what I expected. Gibbs still proven to be the class of the field, but Robo's closing in very quickly through the apex. He has a run. He is now within draft range, and he can catch up a little quicker. showing that Gibb might be on conserving, or he might just not be hitting his corners as good as he was at the initial start of the race. Either way, Robo's starting to put it into overdrive, starting to try and kick ass and let them know that the winningest driver in RIA right now is ready to come back in, kick gas and take names and try and win the season opener to send a message to the rest of the server. Especially coming off of an ARCA championship, it would not come as a surprise to see the 12R return to victory lane again, as this guy has definitely proved to be one of those drivers that can pretty much win in anything, in any situation that you put him in. Gibb, on the other hand, was quite a struggle for him in the ARCA series, quite the opposite. But he is determined to get an IndyCar win, if not multiple this season. And with how fast he is on these road courses, I would not be surprised if he was planning on contending for a championship. Because with his performance right now, leading since the drop of the green flag, I would not be surprised if he would be a huge threat on the road courses to come. With us coming up on lap 30. Still a game of chicken right now and catch up. Robo still lurking behind like Jaws, waiting for the 42 to make a mistake that just will not seem to come. The mistakes that the 42 have made has been very few and far between from what we've seen today. As Gibb makes his way through the final few corners, coming up to lap 29. Oh man, it looked like he was about to die for pit lane there. Might have just been an awkward exit, or something must have happened. That could have been devastating for the 42. Had to happen differently. The 42 hits the inside wall out of 4 as they roll through turn 9. Gibb has opened up that gap once again, coming up to lap 30. So we are 10 to go before the first pit window, which definitely should be interesting, as the 12 big wreck out of the final few corners. Very unfortunate for the 12R DGS team, coming off of a rough first initial start to the season. It doesn't look like it's faring any better. They're still in a podium, but a podium is a far cry from a win, especially in a series as competitive as the Roblox IndyCar Association. You definitely want to be in victory lane. And the closest challenger to Robo as of right now is Jared, who is just now coming through the apex. So the 17 is on par with the top 2, being in the podium, but a little bit off pace. Now Gibb just needs to worry about clocking down laps, conserving what fuel he has left in that tank, and see if he can stretch it the mile that he needs to get a winning strategy out of today. Because you could dominate the first half of the race, but it means nothing if you can't hold on to it and conserve that little extra fuel that you need to make it to that fuel stint that'll get you the win. And once again, these drivers are probably going to be with a two pit strategy today. So we go to the 24, currently running in 4th. As Seeker has now gone a lap down for some reason. Seeker might have done the pit strategy a little early, depending on what we've seen here. Because there is really no way you can miss a sector, so chances are you went for the fuel strategy, early pitting. Which, who knows, that could play out good in his favor. But we shall see. As we go back up front with Robo Mesa. After a huge hit out of the final few corners, he is desperately trying to catch up with Gibb, trying to go for whatever he can right now to stab into his lead, which is really what he needs right now. But I'll tell you what, Gibb is closing in, almost putting everybody except him and Robo Mesa a lap down. He is closing in damn near quickly. And that could be the difference today. If we don't see a caution, that could be the difference. Gibb laps everybody but Robo, and then it's down to a 2-car battle. So really what everybody's hoping for right now is either a caution or something. Something that will give them an upper hand in the long-term battle here. As we go on board with Gibb, he is still not entered the pits. Neither is Robo. We're still 4 laps out from the laps that we should be seeing pits starting to happen. Gibbs coming down the front straightaway now. Lap 37 in the books. And ladies and gentlemen, we're coming up on halfway through the event. Just shy of it. Robo Mesa still lurking behind. He is a threat on the road courses. He has proved that time and time again, but sometimes that inconsistencies that plague him throughout the race costs him the wins. We saw it at Barber Motorsports Park when we initially tried to do Season 3 in the fall. Robo Mesa had the lead, could have won the race, but off the final corner, he just made a nail-in-the-coffin mistake that eventually cost him the win, giving Coop his first win of the season, and allowing a first time, the first time in history, I think a rookie was able to win a race, and that was probably one of the more harder tracks. I mean, that was something to see. That was definitely something to see. Champion being challenged by a newcomer who has barely any experience in these cars. That was quite the handful, I will say. One lap to go before we see fuel windows starting to come in, and once again, that should shuffle up the field a little bit. And if not, just the strategy in general. It all really depends on where the front runners pit. And by the looks of things, Seeker did a pit strategy to where he ended up somehow a lap down, which to me is a little interesting. He's working on getting that lap back right as we speak. As he's now past Jared, he just needs to pass the 12R and number 42, which is his teammate. As we go up to the front with Gibb and Robo. These two definitely got to look out for. When they pit, that's when everything starts to shake up just a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit and enough. And for Jared, that could be a huge break, because he isn't far out from them. A pretty high amount away from them, but not too terribly far out. And Speedy XR1 in the pits. Came out of the pits, and not much has changed for the number 4. Unless he's saying pitted as in he's going to pit this lap. No, looks like he's already pit. So that's going to put him still in 5th. He is now 2 laps down. an interesting situation for them as we go back on board with Gibb. We are at 41 of 100. Gibb and Robo still the only holdouts right now that I do not believe have pit yet. Same with Jared. Noah Dude might have also not pitted yet. He is notorious for his shenanigans with not pitting and his fuel strategies. As Robo comes under the Firestone Bridge coming into the apex. As we go on board with the 42, see, an interesting thing we could see here is Robo try and stay out an extra lap if Gibb goes to the pits. Could it be possible that he is enough to do that? Probably not. But that Hail Mary could work out in the long run for him. Because while he isn't too terribly far out from Gibb, it's a long shot. It's definitely a long shot. Back on board with the 12R, and Gibb is up at front. And Jared dives down to the pit lane as we see him go for his pit box. Starting the timer. 17 waiting for that pit to end as Gibb is still out. So the front two haven't pitted yet. Robo dives for pit lane. Robo the first of the top two to pit, and clean exit for Jared as we go back to Robo Mesa to watch him on his pit stall. Mistakes can be made on pit lane, and he does not want to exit too early, which would hurt him a lot. And look at this. A good situation for almost everybody coming into turn one as they now have the 12 on lock. They are right there with him, and Gibb is down pit lane 2. Here is the first cycle of pits, but do they have enough to catch up to the 42 as he's got the farthest pit stall? Let's see how this works out for him. Jared rolls on by, getting his lap back. Waiting for that exit out of turn 14. We see the cars roaring across the line. Definitely not what the 42 wants to see, but he exits out of the pit lane, smelling like a rose. A good strategy for them all around. First pit stops in the race, and that is still going to put the field at quite a stalemate right now. Nothing's really changed. Nothing's really shuffled up too much. But Robo is now significantly caught up to Gibb. So it's a good situation for a lot of drivers right now. Jared got his lap back out of that kerfuffle of a fuel strategy. So let's see where everybody ends up. Robo is 4 seconds out from Gibb. The extra one's still 2 laps out. Seeker is still 1. And Noah Dude is about 6 laps down. And Robo, big contact. Out of turn 4. These mistakes are killing him. The 12R making so many detrimental mistakes right now to his run. It is not helping him whatsoever. And once again, hits the wall. 5 seconds out from the leader. Go back on board with Gibson. He's been leading since the drop of the green flag. Quite a feat that we've seen from the 42 team in Seeker Technic Motorsports all at once. Here from St. Petersburg. As we're rolling into the halfway mark, as we haven't even reached the hour. We're still under 40 minutes. So this race has gone by pretty damn quickly. Gibb coming out of the final corner out of turn 9, still holding out up at front. Go back to Robo Mesa, just exiting out of turn 9, coming up into turn 10. Still waiting on a good moment here to overtake and use to his advantage. He is out of the draft of the 42 with no help. It is all up to him and his raw power to catch up to the 42. No aid, no nothing. He's got to do it, and he's got to do it quickly as we're coming up on halfway to go. Next pit window will be around lap 80. So with all that said and done, the latest pit that we have seen was Gibbs, so that might be the strategy going forward. Everybody's starting to try and pit later. But with how late Gibb has stayed out, it makes you wonder, can he make his own fuel? Can he hit his marks to where he can save enough fuel to be the last car to pit? Which is a dangerous quality in drivers that you definitely do not want to see on road courses if you are not them. 50 laps in, the halfway. Flag waves at the Firestone flag stand. And we have gone completely cautionless up until this point. Still very well could quickly change. As we go on board with the number 42, who is currently reeling in Seeker right now. And very unfortunate, Seeker was looking strong in the test sessions that we did with him. He looked strong, but I guess the student has now become the master as both Seeker Technic Motorsport drivers are within striking range of each other. Gibb looking to pounce. And now he's out of draft range. Although he might not be just yet. He could still be there as they roll through turn 1s, 2, and 3. Gibb hits that inside wall. He got off 2 tires. Have to watch out for that. Because that could be a huge, huge mistake by Gibb. He gets a little too overconfident in turn 1. He could easily go up and over. Bringing out a caution, which is the last thing you'd want to see. But it would bring a hell of a smile to everybody else's face. So what we've seen so far is very interesting strategy from the 42 to stay out front, pitted later, make sure he stayed there, and just keeps coasting his way away from Robo Mesa, who just seems to choke whatever run he has on the 42. It's been a struggle for the 12R team all around today. It's been honestly a game of catch-up for them. Whereas we thought we might see Robo domination today, Gibb has absolutely knocked the socks off of the former champion and the competition this week, absolutely blitzing. And if he can lead up to lap 60, he will have the most laps led on the day. An excellent feat from the 42 team and Seeker Technic Motorsports as a whole. As we look forward to race next week. Look forward into the future just a little bit as we head down to Charlotte, North Carolina for the Charlotte Turbo Indy 300. 130 laps of racing there. That's going to be a definite crowd pleaser. There's people who do not like road course racing. A lot of drivers will probably be expected to show up there, seeing as how unpopular the road course racing in RIA is. I expect a lot of drivers to show up to the Roadrunner Turbo Indy 300 next week. So that will be a very exciting one. Close quarter racing, 1.5 miles, big track. It's going to be a hell of an event. And I personally cannot wait to see what these drivers manage to mix up at a 1.5 mile bull ring like that. But back to the race at hand right now. Robo Mesa 6 seconds out from the leader of Gibson, who is now currently put Seeker and Noah Dude both another lap down. Very unfortunate for them as Gibson's still pulling laps, trying to reel in Jared for the second time. And that is definitely not what the 17 team wants. They want to stay on the lead lap. That is what that strategy they had was all about they wanted to stay out and wanted to stay on the lead lap, but Gibb was looking to change that very, very quickly. Here he comes through the first few corners out of 8 and 9. Jared goes another lap down once again. A devastating blow for the 17 team. His radio contact has been made. The 17 is claiming he will be pulling off for the night, and he indeed will be. An unfortunate end to Jared's night. Definitely not the way he wanted it to end, but still a valiant effort nonetheless, even showing up and just pulling laps and getting a feel for what half the season will be like. As it is a clean cut. 9 non-ovals and 9 ovals this season, so it's going to be one hell of a season in terms of what we might see out on the track.
Clear.
Perfectly split, perfectly balanced. Some drivers might be good on the road courses, some might be good on the ovals. And mind you, there are 2 short tracks in that mix, so it's a bunch of chaos. So looking forward into the future just a little bit, Gibb needs to be asking himself, can he be this consistent at an oval? Which is a tall order to ask, but definitely not out of the question. So as we write down our first DNF of the night, which will be Jared. DNS and DNF points are just 1. So unfortunately for him, that is going to cost him. Oh, no, my bad. Sorry, DNF is 2 points. Forgot about that. So DNFs, 2 points, and DNSs are 1 point. $20 laps out from the next pit cycle. Gibb and Robo, class of the field right now, but Robo's faltering. He's 7 seconds out. 2 cars are on the lead lap right now. 2 cars competing for the win. It's interesting how this has played out so far, and looking at the board, we have another DNF. The 55 of Noah Dude has pulled off. So unfortunately for him, that is going to be his night. So we're back down to the 4 scheduled drivers that we expected coming into this event, 2 of which are just competing for the win. As we only have now 4 stalls left. We go back out to the racing out on the track. Gibbs still out in front. And not much to commentate on right now. Looks like Robo is still going to be about 7 to 8 seconds out from the leader of Gibson. Gibbs still the class of the field, still beating the absolute socks off of everybody tonight. That includes even the drivers who pulled off. Gibson's still holding out. As we go back to Robomanso, who I believe is starting to lap a few more cars. He did. just lapped Seeker, and he is now 8.3 seconds out from Gibb. And again, it has been a year's worth of build-up to this moment, a year's worth of build-up to the Roblox IndyCar Association's return. So, of course, drivers might not be so pleased that it's a road course race, but again, this is where talent will shine the most. It doesn't take talent to punch someone out of the way, but it definitely does take talent to drive on road courses like this, and not just that, but drive them like people like Robo and Gibb have done, and or Seeker and Speedy. Robo diving through 8 and 9, coming down the short straightaway into turn 10. Go back on board with Gibb. Still up at the front, we go with Seekers. An interesting point of view right now. It's the inside wall out of turns 2 and 3. Still 2 laps down, hoping for a caution to sizzle it up. He would be still a lap down, but it would be a lap closer to finishing on the lead lap than it would be not. So Gibb closing in on the 10 to go before the next pit cycle, and then we'll be in the home stretch with the final 20 laps of the race. All Gibb has to do is hold out for those last few laps. What Robo needs to hope for now is one hell of a pit strategy to get him even closer. He has closed that gap by about 6 seconds, or 2 seconds, my bad. 2 seconds have been closed between him and Gibb. So Robo, still working at chipping away at that lead right now, needs to hope for one hell of a strategy from DGS to get him back up at the front and within striking range of Gibb. We could have a race for the win. It just all depends on how this next fuel cycle cycles out. Two DNFs are definitely not what you want to see in the initial start of the race, but it is what it is. Rowe comes out to the front straightaway. Completes lap 71 along with Gibb. 6.253 seconds separate him and the 42. Hits the inside wall out of turn number 4 out of that exit. It's going to cost him. Still trying to chip away at that lead. This is not what Robo wants.
Talking about me.
Robo coming down the front straightaway. We'll complete lap number 72. Go back to Seeker. In the 24. Still holding out. Coming down the front straightaway. Currently in third, so definitely not a bad day by any means of the imagination for Seeker Technic Motorsports. Running first and third right now. This is a good day for them. And around goes the 24. Not a caution, but not good for them either. And I forgot to mention most led laps on the day will be going to Gibb. An extra bonus point going to whatever finishing order he gets from today. 2 points will be going his way, and we're still waiting for another driver to lead a lap. Closest to it will probably be Robo Mesa. And around goes Seeker again, out of the exit of 4. Very unfortunate for him. And he hits the tire barrier out of turn 7 into 8 out of 9. Bad luck right now striking the 24 team. This is not what they want right now. And they're faltering bad as Gibson's going to put the 24 another lap down. So now both Speedy XR1 and Seeker 3 laps out of the lead lap. Not what they want to be happening as of right now in the standings of the race as we run. As we're 5 out from 20 to go, Gibson been dominating since the drop of the green flag. I don't think we've seen this kind of domination since season 1 at all. No one has come out and flat out dominated the entire day like he has, and Seeker drops down to pit lane. As we'll be overseeing his pit stop, which I assume will be the last of the race. 24 diving for pit lane. He is in his pit box, fueling up, changing his tires, getting a fresh set of Firestones on that car. As he's about to exit. And he gets the green light from the crew chief, and out of the pit lane he comes. There he is. The 24 smelling like a rose with his final pit stop of the race. Right now, all he's thinking about is getting his car to the finish line and getting it strong. As they run right now, Gibb still out front. Robo 5 seconds out. He has closed that gap without a doubt. As Gibb messes up in the apex. A mistake out of 5. Or out of 7 and 8. Costed him a little bit of time there. Robo can start chipping away slowly but surely. Robo with a good situation now. The 42 is starting to falter just a little bit. If he keeps making these mistakes late in the race, it could cost him. Into the apex he goes. A beautiful exit for him. Robo Mesa still in second, but the gap is now 4 seconds. That is the difference between these two drivers. Into the hairpin, now down to the front straightaway they go. The gap is now 4.8. Could be one hell of a finish to the end. But the question remains, who is going to have the better fuel strategy? As the Force still needs to make his pit stop, as Gibb and Robo now 1 lap away from the 20 to go mark at the line. Out of the hairpin he comes. Gibb's going to dive for pit lane. This could be huge for Robo. He stays out. He opts for 1 more lap out of the pit box. Can he hold that? Gibb definitely didn't need to do that. He definitely did not need to pit this early, but he did anyway. He still has the lead, but will he be able to catch up with this pit stop? Is Robo now coming up to turn 10. Will this fuel strategy work out for the 12R? This was an interesting call and definitely one that could win him the race, but it all comes down to this. He comes down pit lane as we go back to Gibb, who is closing in fast. Coming out of turn 10, exiting through 11 and 12. Out of 13 and 14, what is the difference going to be? We go back to Robo, still waiting for the green light. And there it is. And he might be just a little shy. Robo very displeased over the radio.
Come on, that was a
Out to
perfect
the
pit stop
line,
in every
Gibb.
way
Now
conceivable.
in front once
yet
again,
somehow he's
taking control of the race. As Speedy extra one into the wall. Into the tire barrier he goes.
My help.
Not a good sign for him as now Robo back down to square one. 5 seconds out. As we are going to review those pit stops, make sure everything went according to plan. As we look at Gibb, he exits when it's green. And we go to Robo now. And he gets there right as it turns green. So clear of exiting the pit boxes. No harm done. Nobody got out of their pit boxes just yet. Nobody got out of their pit boxes too early. None of them got out too late. In fact, I think Robo had probably the better pit stop there, getting out immediately.
How the fuck I was
Right
timed?
as it turned green. But what seemed like a good strategy at first just did not work out for Robo in his favor. As we were coming down to 15 to go, it has all fizzled down to this. But Robo will get a bonus point for leading a lap on the day, as it's not quite been the day that he's wanted. It is definitely not going out empty-handed. He is closing in, though. He is now 4 seconds out from the leader of Gibb. Gibb knows he sees that 12 in his rearview mirror. He knows if he makes a big mistake in these closing laps, it's all over. And that 12 could definitely try and make a run for that lead. And what it has come down today, folks, is consistency and patience. Gibb has definitely mastered all those and has wiped the floor with the competition today in terms of strategy and when he's pitted. And how well he does out on the racetrack shows his raw skill on these road courses and these types of tracks. This is a promising look for Gibb for the future road course races that are coming up. As the next non-oval that we go to is, in fact, another street course. The last one of the season, so could Gibb get another win at a street course? We'll see in about 2 weeks. But Gibb, a rookie, looking to get his first win of his career. Coming at probably one of the hardest tracks to be as dominant as he has today. He's looking to do the impossible. And what seemed impossible coming into this race is very much looking more probable as the 42 comes around. 2 away from hitting that sweet 10 to go. It has all come down to this. He just needs to be as consistent as possible. Quick, but consistent. No mistakes can be made on these closing laps for the 42, and it's definitely looking that way that he might just be able to make it to the end without making a brutal mistake that could take away from his win. Once again, not the day that Seeker was looking for, but as a whole organization, Seeker Technic Enterprise is going to have a good day if they manage to stay out on top. They'll have a 1 and 3 finish from St. Petersburg today. That is legendary. Gibson making his way through 4 and 5. Out of 6 and 7 through 9. Beautiful exit for him. We go back to Robo. Let's see if he can make the same happen. Same thing with him. The biggest thing here is that these guys are just both flawless. They just do not make mistakes, and that is what the 12 has been struggling with this entire race. But across the line, the 42 gets the 10 to go from the flag stand. A long, grueling race coming down to this. Strategy and dominance. Through the straightaway as we look here. As we look at Gibb up at the front, still holding out. 9 to go for the 42. The strong dominance of this 42 is very much a threat for the number 12R for his dominance, but it has closed down to a 3.4 second gap. Gibb in trouble. Robo closing in. And closing in fast. I think this is the closest he has been in over 50 laps. Exiting the hairpin now. He is looking hella fast. Coming down the straightaway like a piss missile. He is looking to get that lead away from him. Through these first few corners into turn 9 through the apex, the difference is still 3 seconds. Coming to turn 10, 11 and 12 and to 13 and 14, coming down the front straightaway. 7 to go for the 42 of Gibson. As we go back to look at Robo Mesa and his perspective as we go first person on board with him. Very interesting perspective indeed. So close, but yet so far. He has closed that gap so immensely much. He is just 3 seconds shy of the 42. But a mistake here from Gibson could be the difference. I know I keep saying it, but it could come. But all could be lost if Gibb manages to reach this lap car. Because that extra draft could help him pull away. Gibson within striking range. He has Speedy X1 locked in his sights. This little extra draft might be enough to seal the deal. He just needs a straightaway to catch that draft. Taps the wall out of the apex, not too much. But man, it has all come down to this. Out of the hairpin. Robo so close. He is in draft range without a doubt. The difference is now 2 seconds. Gibson being closed in on heavily by Robo. This is the closest Robo has been in such a long while. He is closing in fast. Gibson, big mistake at the apex. Here comes Robo. Robo taps the outside wall out of the apex. Costing him a little bit of time, but here he comes. Gibson starting to crumble under the pressure. The 12R right there with him. In the draft they come down the front straightaway into turn 1. Both of them flawless for their first few corners. Gibson also has help, but hits the inside wall. Here comes Robo. Robo's there. Through 6 and 7 out of 9, Robo is the closest he has been in such a while. The battle is close. As Robo now has the draft from both the 4 and the 42. He has 2 card drafts right now, closing in fast. 3 to go from St. Petersburg. Gibson quickly makes his move around the number 4. Trying to remain as flawless as possible, but Robo is still there, trying to make it a 3-card pack race. Through the apex, Gibson opens the gap just a little bit more. The battle is suspenseful, it is still real. Robo could still easily make his way back up to the front. 2 to go at the line. Popsicle sticks from the Honda St. Petersburg Grand Prix. The tension is palpable. It has all come down to this, folks. What can Robo do? Gibson nearly perfect. This entire race dominated since the first lap, and here it is! Here it is! Robo passes for the lead out of turn 9! Robo, the new race leader, will he falter? Gibson starting to feel the pressure as Robo crosses over, takes the white flag. It has all come down to this. They race off into turn 1. Gibson still there, can make a move. He has a 2-card draft. Seeker trying to do everything he can to help his teammate, but he moves out of the way. Robo pulls away, out in the apex. What seemed impossible now seems probable after such a horrific outcome for the 12. He makes the best out of a shitty day. Coming to the Twin Checkers, Robo wins the Honda St. Petersburg Grand Prix.
Oh, God, that was such a fucking hard race. All the odds were not in my favor.
An excruciating day for the 12R.
I call it Mickey Mouse win.
And the 42 must be aching. Win in hand. Selling it at the last second. That is an unfortunate end for the 42. And there it is, adding to the win total. 5 wins. RoboMesa sending a message to never count out the Season 2 champion. And what a showing out of that final few laps. I don't think I've ever seen a more epic finish to a road course other than Barber Motorsports Park. That was fucking insane. And it wasn't even like he cut or did anything to get there. He ran his race. He did everything he needed to do to get back up there. And he did it cleanly. When Robo, notorious for his controversies, comes out, wins flat out through raw skill and talent after a rough day, the 12 comes back to win arguably one of the most dominated races in RIA history. A comeback story indeed for the number 12R. How about that? Well, time to talk to the big man himself as we're going to end off the stream here. What a day, an hour and 13 minutes. Definitely not as long as I thought it would have been, but there it is. Race is over. The season has started. And what a way to start the season with an unexpected winner. How about that? And let's get a word from our race winner. Robo, the words are not even real to explain what kind of feat you were able to pull off at the last second there. Closing in that lap times, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, to pulling it in to about a car length. You managed to do what seemed impossible 20 laps prior to that, and being able to pull off one of the biggest upsets I think we have seen in RIA history since the Season 2 Indianapolis 500. What do you have to say about your performance today, man?
Well, firstly, hi, Jason. um, no, in all seriousness, the hate fuels me, so if you want me to be slower, then just stop being mean to me. I'm just gonna go faster just to piss you off more. So that's your advice, seeker. Say nice things next time. That was one of the most stressful. Yeah, shut the fuck up, idiot. Yeah, you should. Yeah, sure. I'm the one with the win. What do you got?
Why did I just get a Wawa ad? Never
No,
mind.
in all seriousness, though,
Keep going.
that was a very, very difficult win. Probably one of the happiest wins I've had. I was so pissed off for so much of the race, but that anger fueled me, as it usually does. It's hard to really get angry in a no collide race, but it didn't help when there were drivers like Noah Dude, who was just intentionally trying to give the win to Gibby. Now, mind you, Gibby drove a hell of a race, hell of a driver, but if you're going to call my race a Mickey Mouse win, he had literally everyone on his side, everyone against mine. Like, there was not a single person that was working with me today. In fact, Noah, on my stream, you could see, was intentionally weaving out. Like, as soon as he got past, he was starting to weave out until I passed him, then he retired. So clearly it shows some people have their preferences and will go out of their way to abuse the draft system to try to help their favorite drivers win. Which, to me, that's a little bit unsportsmanlike, a little bit fucked, but, you know, you do you. Did call him a slur. I would like to formally apologize to the Alphabet community for that. It's not appropriate of me, but, you know, heat of the moment type of shit. Probably should have been muted, but is what it is. But yeah, that was just catching up to him at the end was just incredible. I didn't think I had it, genuinely. Like, I thought I was gonna end today being incredibly pissed off, I didn't realize the start was gonna be a countdown like that. I thought that's why I had such a bad start. The drafting, I'm also kind of a bit frustrated with the fact that, like, even though my pit stop was perfect, he clearly gained time over my pit stop, which I think that's because he's right at the end of the pit lane, so he had the most opportune pit space, because all he had to do was basically just drive out of his pit stop, and he would be going normally, but I had to be on my limiter, which probably is why he gained time out of my pit stop over, you know, vice versa. So, very frustrating when that happens, but, you know, it happens. We're just going to try to go on to the next race stronger, and hopefully, you know, to all these people bitching about me complaining about being dominant, I only led, like, the last 2 laps, and maybe, like, one in between. So rightfully, you can fuck off. I might win most of the races, but I don't win races out of domination. I win them out of pure fucking, like, send and luck.
You win them like Dale does, out of pure fucking spite, dude.
Oh, yes. I would like to say, though, Gib did drive a hell of a race. That was an awesome battle. No complaints from me and you. Like, you honestly are pretty equal with me. And I've been in your position myself. It is very frustrating, but there is going to be more opportunities, and knowing how you drove today and how I drive, you and I are probably going to be fighting a lot of it, especially if you're active. You got a shot at the championship more than I do, because I'm just here mainly just to have fun. Obviously, for me, having fun is coming up on victory lane. And, you know, I'm not going to be here every single race, but I'll try to come in as many as I can. It was a blast. Looking up to next week. So, yeah.
Thank you for talking to us, Robo. And what a night by you and your team. Definitely abysmal in terms of performance, but you were able to come out on top with the cards that you were dealt. Congratulations on your win today, man. What a hard-fought one by you.
I gotta see if I'm quick time.
Quick time does not matter. Not this
curious.
season.
I'm just curious.
Well, I need you I need you to come back here for your victory lane photo, fucker.
All right. I won't waste your time.
Put yourself on mute.
There. Okay, I'll mute myself with my mic, but don't worry, I'm not gonna speak.
Okay. All right. Well, that was your race winner, folks, from the Honda St. Petersburg Grand Prix, and we're going to get his victory lane photo real quick before we go on to the rest of our racers and what they have to say on tonight's performance. Honestly, an exciting finish to a pretty bland race, but that is what you get at a street course, and honestly, I don't think I would have had it any other way. What a day from St. Pete. And there's the victory lane photo. Will be entering the all-time wins list, adding to his collection. Still holding out, and now he has 5 wins total. As we are now moving on, moving subject to the absolute domination, utter crushing defeat, but a fucking great performance day by him, sending a message to everybody that he is here to make a splash in his rookie season. Gib, do you have a copy, man?
Yes, I do.
Dude, you raced your absolute ass off today, man. You were a piss missile the entire race tonight. You were near perfect. Perfect that entire race. Perfect with your strategies. Everything just came down to that 2-car draft at the end, man. What happened for you guys to not be able to get in victory lane tonight?
Starting with about 10 laps to go, I just started making small mistakes, and then the real big one there on lap 98 or 99, and just went downhill from there.
Now, big question is here, was it the performance anxiety or the pressure buildup from the 12R starting to close in with all those built up of minor mistakes that you were starting to make with the 10 laps to go?
I would say it was more of how long that race was. It just started getting to me. Started making mistakes, bigger mistakes as the time went on.
Definitely with those longer paced races, you're more prone to mistakes, especially with how long that we did do that race for, but still you drove an absolute hell of a race. A podium finish for both Seeker Technic Motorsports drivers tonight. What do you have to say on that?
I mean, that was good. Good team result from both drivers there. Couldn't be happier on that part.
Just upset that you could not get the win, but what a performance by you. And if you keep performing like that, Gib, I have no doubt in my mind that you will find victory lane soon, my friend. What a day for you guys. Congratulations on your podium tonight. Hopefully we see you at Charlotte Motor Speedway next week.
Thank you.
And we will move on to our third place finisher of Sodden Seeker, who I am sure is going to have some choice words for us. Seeker, do you have a copy?
It's Technic Seeker Enterprise, not Motorsports.
Technic. Shut up. Well, man, that was a rough day for you, but still you managed to pull out a 2-3 finish, podium finish for both Technic Seeker Enterprises cars. Fuck, that's a tongue twister. But a great and excellent day for you guys from St. Petersburg. What do you have to say on that?
Let me see here. Well, Gib was the most dominant car because like we put a Honda engine in there, which we typically build. We did not cheat. And second of all, with his second place result and how many laps he led the whole race, I think that's gotta be like a first place. I don't know points. I'm not sure.
He'll be damn close. I will say this, he'll be damn close. If he's not first place, he'll be damn fucking close. He'll be at least like 2 points shy of the lead. That's how close it will be. But
yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, typically Technic Seeker Enterprises, like, I don't know, we've been dominated this whole race. And there's like team standings, and team standing first place, but we're just out here running the Hondas. Hondas are doing well, better than Chevrolet, because Chevrolet sucks.
Me and you are gonna have a falling out later, but putting that aside, such a great day by you guys, and you did not really the way you wanted to finish on the podium, but still a podium nonetheless, a top 3 finish for both you and Gib. Coming into next week, do you think you guys will be able to build off that momentum coming into an oval?
Yeah, you know what? Gib is a very good driver. I could probably see him and me hopefully, I don't know, dominate the series, but Gib has potential. This is just practice for him for the NRL season. And what NRL season is kind of crazy, and then RAA and I don't know, whatever Robo runs.
Definitely, and juggling all that is probably gonna put a lot of performance on Gib for the next coming weeks with the NRL season coming up and the Roblox India Car Association just getting started. That is definitely going to be a lot for him, but still a good show up by both of you nonetheless. Congratulations on your podium, Seeker, and hopefully we see you next week at the Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yes, thank you very much. I'll be here all weekend.
All right, we're going to put him on mute. Or I'm going to disconnect you and you can come back. All right. Next up will be Speedy X1, our last interview of the night.
Big
Speedy X1, do you have a copy? Speedy, do you?
This is weird that they ain't never signed you in the thing.
You deafened him.
Fuck. Speedy X1, do you have a copy? That's my bad. Speedy?
Alright.
Well, Speedy, it was a rough day for you guys in the number 4 team all around from St. Petersburg. Not quite the day you were looking for, but still a good race nonetheless. A top 5 finish out of a 6-car field that is definitely going to help you out in the standings. What exactly happened today for you guys to fall out like that? Not the time right now. All right. Well, I guess that is where we are going to end things for today and the week. Thank you all for coming out. This was a good race, and hopefully we get to see you all for the next race, which probably should be a little bit more exciting than this at Charlotte Motor Speedway. See y'all next week.
Okay, well, with that in mind, I'm going to close up my own stream. Hi there, Jason. Hope all is well. We'll be out in SLC doing stuff tomorrow. Hope to see you guys there.